welcome to VMC. I'm Dr. M. Today we are going to do a popular person video. This person has been requested many times. However, I knew that putting this video together would be incredibly distressing for me to do, so I did put it off for a while, but I figured let's tackle it today. So we will cover Cesar Millan today. Join me. You'll learn something. A brief moment of housekeeping off the top. I'm not exactly sure how regular my videos are going to be for the next few weeks. Unfortunately, my grandmother was given COVID and she died from it. So I'm currently in the middle of dealing with funeral, memorial things, and because of that, I may need some weeks off here. I'll try to do most Fridays, but I'm not making any promises at this point. It's also been incredibly dry weather here, and my lip split. So, no, I haven't been in a bar fight. Alright, now let's dive into the topic of today's video. Cesar Felipe Millan Favela. I apologize if I am not getting this pronunciation correct. Cesar was born in Mexico on August 27th, 1969, and he came into the United States when he was 21 years old. Somehow he managed to cross paths with Jada Pinkett Smith. Not sure exactly how that happened, but from what I was reading, it sounds like Jada was instrumental in helping him settle into living in California. Once in Los Angeles, CM had a few different jobs. Seems like he was a dog groomer, but also worked as a limousine driver. It was at some point after this where he started dog rehab centers, and there were a few of them over the years. Eventually these became known enough that there was a profile about Cesar in the LA Times. He then had the opportunity to do a pilot for the National Geographic channel where his Dog Whisperer show started. The Dog Whisperer ran episodes from 2004 to 2012. There was also a magazine that was in print from 2009 to 2014. Cesar has also been an author and been involved in several other shows. Some of them were even for young children. Millan has also done some live touring shows. Essentially, the man has been quite prolific and his popularity increased quickly, and he became incredibly well known incredibly fast. I'll next try to summarize his technique that he uses. He says that dogs need exercise, discipline, and affection in that order. He tells people that they must have strong posture and that their dogs pick up on their energy, and if those things aren't correct, then they cannot be pack leaders. And he tells people that their dogs require calm, assertive energy. I have done some previous videos explaining the quadrants of behavior modification, so if you're not familiar with those 4 quadrants, please go back and watch the videos. I'll link them in the doobly-doo below. But his technique involves a lot of verbal and physical positive punishment. He uses sounds that predict punishment. He also jabs, kicks, chokes, pushes, and otherwise physically hurts dogs. So at this point, I think we should look at some video. I really debated whether I would even do this because it is so incredibly distressing to watch. And I'm definitely not going to be showing the videos where he chokes dogs near death or where he badly injures dogs. I will show his less distressing work about what is actually going on with how he interacts with dogs.
And then we have Bella. Let's go. She's also a pit bull. Bella is our craziest girl. She needs to be in control of every situation. She's always on edge, always ready to go. Any toy that they have, she wants. We just have zero control over Bella. It's just a recipe for disaster.
So it sounds like there is a resource guarding issue, and it also sounds like there's probably some fear/anxiety, perhaps some reactivity. That could be some frustration in there as well. So let's see what happens from here.
She definitely is a party killer. If the boys are playing around, she wants to immediately intervene.
One of the
So right there, what happened was she redirected onto the dog that was closest to her. That's a dangerous situation.
When one of our sons was just laughing, it triggered her. He got bit pretty bad. He needed stitches.
Okay, and so now we also have a serious biting issue. It sounds like she goes after dogs and people.
Bella is dog aggressive, so we're having to watch her with the other dogs in the neighborhood.
You get to that point where they're seeing red. Bella, come on!
And then so she causes anxiety with the other dogs. They get riled up. Recently, she all of a sudden attacked Bubba. And he immediately started attacking Bella back and bit her through her shoulder. And she actually needed surgery and put drains in, and it was a pretty significant injury. It didn't stop her though, because when we got to the vet, she was trying to attack all the other dogs that were in there. I am worried that we're not going to...
So from Bella's perspective, when she sees other dogs, bad things happen to her, and so other dogs will cause this behavior from her as a reaction.
Hey! Stop. Hi!
All right, so instead of these people teaching their dogs, when the doorbell rings, I want you to wait on your mat and I will reward you for being there, they verbally are aggressive, and that is making the dogs redirect to one another. Oy, what a mess.
How are you?
Stop.
That's pretty bad.
Stop. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Wow, that's a bark right there.
That's a strong bark.
If you don't mind, we can go for a walk.
Okay.
Let's go to experience the energy.
It is not best to assess a dog walking in a group of dogs. That act alone might put that dog over the threshold of what they're able to tolerate and handle, and that could be dangerous and risk safety for the dogs, any other people or animals they interact with, the people who are walking these dogs. So right away, this is a bad recommendation.
Okay.
And just, take me to your routes.
Okay.
Seeing them leave the house, that was pretty dangerous.
Super fun walk.
Because they're allowing the dog to be in front full throttle, full force.
That's not what makes it dangerous. The dog being in front is not dangerous. However, they have not learned the behavior of loose leash walking, and them pulling could be dangerous for the people and for the dog.
Full anxiety, full aggression, full excitement, all of that. The humans are actually serving.
I just saw that face there. That dog face is incredibly stressed. Here, let's see if I can catch it. That. It's blurry. But this dog's lips are tight and the ears are straight back. This dog is experiencing a lot of stress.
The humans are actually serving like a dead weight. So they're not guiding. Shoulders up.
And they already have a pinch collar on this dog, so they are already causing pain to this dog, and this person is holding this leash so tight that this dog is feeling pain all the time.
Shoulders up. They're walking, but they're not in control.
Good boy.
Yeah, this dog face is not a happy dog face. The ears are back, the forehead is wrinkled, the lips are tight, this dog is stressed. This dog, same thing. Ears back, furrowed brow, tight lips, very stressed dog. Very, very stressed dog.
Dogs should not be in front of you, especially walking in the neighborhood.
That is just not true. Where the dog is in relation to you has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Bella's pulling really hard. She's about to pull Jennifer out of her shoes. So the first thing we need to do is to get that dog under control. Jennifer, bring it over
I'm
here.
very worried about what that means.
Like a halter.
Okay, so first problem here. he did not counter condition and desensitize the dog to wearing this piece of equipment. It also appears to be a sort of a rope that would be abrasive and cause pain, which is not okay. And he didn't take the time to form a positive conditioned emotional response to wearing this tool. While a head halter type piece of equipment can be helpful for some dogs, they can be quite aversive for other dogs and cause more problem than good. This also doesn't teach the dog anything. Some people do end up using them as a bit of a safety tool if they have balance issues themselves and so on. However, you should never just stick it on a dog and go. You need to properly introduce them to it and teach them the behavior you want from them while they're wearing it. That is, to be having a loose leash. You have to teach it. The dog doesn't know what it is you want from them. They're not born understanding what a leash is and what behavior the human wants from them while they're attached to the other end of it.
So at least we're going to eliminate the pulling.
So you saw that lip lick there? That dog is very nervous.
Then once you eliminate the pulling, you can ask for the following.
Okay.
Normal. That's good.
So no, this is not normal. This dog is doing this because they've not been properly conditioned to wear this piece of equipment. And he also then goes to add a verbal punisher. This dog hasn't been exposed to his ch before, so doesn't know what it means.
That's all good. Come with me, Jennifer. I'm going to use you so she can follow you.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pass it to you when she starts. There you go. So that way we...
This dog is incredibly stressed and tense and worried.
At least bringing the speed down. Oh,
So if they know that this dog is reactive to other dogs, we don't know why yet, but if they know that, then they need to be keeping enough distance that the dog can stay under threshold so that the dog's mind can learn things. When the dog is feeling this way, it cannot learn and therefore it cannot change to have a different behavior that is safer. So now the dog is panicking and he doesn't do anything.
When I say redirection, I simply mean redirected aggression. When Bella is overexcited by any target...
Oh, so now he tries to force her to sit, which also does nothing. Whether the dog is standing, sitting, laying down, it doesn't matter. She's still feeling the same things. She's still stressed, she's still anxious, she's still fearful, she's still frustrated. Whatever the underlying particular issues with this dog, I don't know just from this small amount of video, but changing the physical position her body is in does absolutely nothing. You have to start from a distance to another dog where she can be under threshold, and from there you need to change how she feels about seeing other dogs. Since she has this history of bad things happening when she sees other dogs, of course she's going to react this way.
If she can't reach that particular target, she'll redirect that energy to someone or something near her. So if she can't get to him, she has to redirect that energy.
Yeah.
You know, it happens to a lot of people when they can't release their energy somewhere. Sometimes we end up releasing in the wrong family members.
Right.
Yeah, so it's
That's actually not a bad description of redirection, yes, but the reason for it and how he tries to address it is all very dangerous and wrong.
No, right? No, she's not used to it. That's a problem. You were using the harness, but automatically this gives you that. See it? So this is not...
So the head halter is causing the dog pain, and he was also keeping the leash short. If he kept the leash short while the dog was on the harness, the dog would also be beside him. But he didn't, he let the leash go. The dog is also trying to escape being around him because the dog is feeling distressed.
Not a walk.
No.
You're actually nurturing a fighting mentality.
No, it has nothing to do with a fighting mentality. This dog has, however long, a history of pulling in order to get where she wants to go. So she has a past history of being reinforced for pulling towards objects she wants to get to. And the behavior over time is now that when we're on a walk, she has been taught by these people that she pulls, and that's how she gets places. She has not been taught how to walk on a loose leash.
Any sort of excitement, whether it's good or bad, she redirects.
Once the leash was on her nose, you see how the brain changes?
Yeah.
No,
Drastically.
the brain hasn't changed.
So that's why tools are so important to understand what's the outcome I'm going to gain by that tool. That is fighting right now, pulling. This is calming and pain.
This dog is not calm.
Yeah.
No.
What I learned is this. The family can even walk their dogs because of...
So he keeps yanking on this head halter as he's moving with the dog. So what is happening is the dog is learning that she cannot escape this person. And so she's starting to shut down. She's trying to avoid him where she can, and otherwise she's just shutting down.
But it's the pent-up energy that really makes them super dangerous right now. So I need to get them off the streets and into a place where they can begin to burn off that energy and see what kind of dogs they are underneath.
So some of this is like kind of almost right. Yes, dogs do need outlets for their normal behaviors. However, if you only provide physical exercise, then you end up with a frustrated athlete who needs even more exercise and even more exercise and even more exercise. If you aren't addressing the cause for the behavior, and if you're not working to change things there, then you are not going to have a successful outcome.
Turbo, get this guy over here. That's the excitement we don't want. This is a little too excited as well. Who's the biggest problem? We still don't know. We seem some overexcitement, especially with Bella's redirection. The only way we can get a full picture is after we give this dog the best workout of their lives.
If you give a dog too much physical exercise when they are out of shape, these dogs all appear to be overweight and out of shape, you are at high risk of injury. This is not a safe way to go about this, not at all. Dogs need brain energy outlets more than they need physical energy outlets. Of course, they do need some of each, but to give them the ability to use their brains in a safe manner, to problem solve, to sniff things, to explore, to investigate, that is much more beneficial and satiating to the dog over strictly physical exercise.
Here we got this big tire. What we're saying is, this is where you pull. You don't pull the human.
This is a bad idea. These dogs are not in appropriate shape for this. Look at the avoidance.
This dog's never exercised.
So that dog is stressed. My goodness. He's avoiding. He does not want to do this.
There you go. Look at homeboy. Look at homeboy. Yeah, you can let it go. Let it go. Yeah, yeah.
That dog is so overweight. This is not safe.
I'll bring in Bella. Let's lower that excitement. Nope. Come on, Bella.
But she doesn't know. They haven't taught her
If
anything.
you can't get her to even start the exercise, she's going to remain a threat to this family. Come on, Bella. Nope.
So they're not teaching the dog what they're wanting from them. They're not setting the dog up to succeed. They're not doing anything properly. Not at all. Dogs are similar in their mental understanding as a human toddler would be, except the dog, of course, doesn't speak English and isn't the same species, so they have no idea what humans are wanting or asking of them. You have to teach them the behaviors that you want from them. This is just a nightmare.
Come on, Bella.
I also wonder if she has some pain.
Bella's doing fine on her own. She's getting it. Let's bring them together. We need to keep a close eye.
So we've had, maybe a couple minutes of these dogs pulling a tire, and now they're fixed. Like, this just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's incredibly frustrating to me throwing these dogs together after this, which has not taught them anything about the behaviors you want from them when they're around each other, is dangerous and foolish and shows a severe lack of judgment. I think Bella has pain in her back legs, actually. And this brings up a very important thing here. Not once has it been discussed that these dogs needed to have seen their veterinarian, because pain can increase fear, aggression, reactivity, anxiety, noise hypersensitivity, Pain can contribute to all of those things, and watching her use her back legs, I think she has hip and or knee problems. She needs to see a veterinarian, and whatever that is needs to be addressed before anything else is attempted. These dogs also should have seen a veterinary behaviorist, a veterinarian who has done an extra 4 years in behavior modification and who is well trained with how to properly desensitize and counter condition animals to change reactive or fearful behaviors, to teach the people the skills they need to keep their dog under threshold in environments that the dog is able to successfully handle by using management and positive reinforcement to build good experiences and to tell the dog, this is the behavior that I'm looking for from you, because behavior that we reinforce will increase in frequency. So now they're forcing a dog who is saying, look at all of that avoidance. Look at all that avoid. That dog does not want to be there. He said, and he's being yanked towards another dog. This is horrendous. This is not okay.
Well, they aren't fighting. They're all three together.
That hasn't happened, and it's been years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look at that.
This is nothing to be happy about. These dogs are fearful and stressed. They're showing tons of avoidance behaviors. This will not be a long-term resolution. Look at the ears. Ignore the happy music and Cesar's nonsense here. Just look at these dogs. Look at the tension in this dog's ears. Look at the tension in this dog's body. This dog is not appearing as stressed as the other two, but none of these dogs are happy or relaxed.
Drain the energy as soon as they wake up. That's your main job. So now, in this state, we're gonna go for a walk. Okay, follow me.
Cesar wants to test the dogs with an introduction to his own pack.
Yeah, so now the dog that's been billed as the worst, she looks even more painful after being forced to pull that heavy tire. All I see in all of this dog behavior is just red flag after red flag after red flag, and Millan just is ignoring all of it. Maybe he doesn't know, maybe, I don't know, but this is dangerous.
Is she growling? She is growling. It's not good.
She pulled you to it. Sit her down, sit her down. She's about to jump on Sophia. Okay, hold on. Jump.
Now I'm expecting
They get tense
there will
because
be
you're so
additional
tense. The
punishment.
dog is telling you what the energy is. Your mind might be thinking one thing, but your energy is completely different. Okay. So, here.
She's trying to avoid him.
Now we gotta bring it.
Stress, avoidance of him again.
So I'm bringing her to it.
No, forcing a dog to do something on your terms does not address the reason for the dog's behavior in the first place, and it is not an appropriate way to do this.
For now, I want to send this family home with clear directions. Drain their energy first. Practice making Bella sit whenever she gets triggered. We have a lot of work to do. Relax your arm. There you go.
Slow down.
This poor dog. Uh-oh. I'm feeling very worried about what's going to happen here. Because Millan has not given these people appropriate tools, and because they have continued to punish the dog's reactivity will have worsened, the dog's likelihood for becoming aggressive will be higher, and I bet there will be a dog fight here. And this is not safe, and it is not okay, and it shows an extreme lack of judgment from Millan that he even set these people up for this. But maybe I'll be wrong. Let's see what happens.
Then a lady and her dog started walking. That cat fell by, and she just bolted past me.
Right.
And I was like, I ran after her.
Oh
Yelling
boy.
at her, Bella, Bella. Oh, Bella ran out. She runs up to the dog's cat,
Right.
barking. And then the little one off leash comes at her, barking, and kind of lunges at her. And then that's when she retaliated. And I felt like, oh, my dogs, I don't want them to change.
This poor person.
Yep. I
She's being
understand this
failed by
complicated,
someone
but,
she
the
thinks
mistake
is helping her.
Unfortunately, is where we grow. The good thing is nobody's hurt.
Caesar needs to
All
address
right.
this incident with Bella immediately before her next attack could result in a fatality.
This makes me feel very sick to my stomach and distressed because I have, like, from previous things I've watched of Milan's, he sets dogs up to fail and then he punishes them for failing. The dog will either shut down, which is a trauma response, or will be pushed so far into a corner that they will become aggressive. Neither is an acceptable solution, and that's part of why this way of training is inhumane and cruel. So I just don't want to see what happens next.
Glad it happened because that means to me that this is what would have to work.
Right.
You're gonna love today.
Oh boy.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a leash on Bella, the halter, set her up, snap her out of it, let her know what we want, and that's gonna be their new memory.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So what this actually is setting the dog up to fail and then punishing them for failing, which is cruel.
We'll get her.
After Caesar's encouragement, Jennifer is prepared to discourage.
Look at this. Look at this dog. Since the last time he's been here, she is now whale eye, extremely tense, fearful, avoiding him because she knows he's cruel. This is not safe. And if I ever saw a dog giving this behavior, we would immediately need to change things so that the dog could feel more comfortable, because this risks the dog becoming aggressive because it is so fearful.
Bella's fight mode mindset.
Relax.
Oh my goodness.
But
Avoidance.
to ensure Jennifer's success, Caesar must retrain the dog by presenting
Look at that tail. This dog is so stressed.
a new trigger,
Get right back.
one with which she's never had a
Yanking
bad
the dog.
experience.
Oh good, now we're going to risk the safety of ducks.
On the back. Bella has only ever fought dogs, so it is actually safer for us to use these ducks because they're completely new to her, and she doesn't have a bad memory of them like.
But now she will have a bad memory of them because you're going to punish her while she's around them. Look at the stressed behavior of this dog. And she is doing her very best to avoid the entire situation, and she is shutting down. This is not a dog that's learning anything. This is a dog experiencing trauma.
She needs to get used to the sound, the smell, the sight. This is all good. This is not
No, none of this is good. This dog is very afraid.
wrong. She's doing great.
She's avoiding. She's shutting down. This dog is so stressed and distressed. This is not okay.
She's doing great.
You're doing
No,
great.
she's not.
It's a reflection of you.
The reason that this dog is doing this is because she's learned she can't escape and that there will just be more punishment. So she is shutting down.
Oh, girl. See that? That's a fight.
She's distressed. It's nothing to do with fight. The licking is fear. And then she kicks her own dog and causes more distress and fear.
Yes. Great.
And looking at how the dog is sitting here, I'm even more convinced that there's a medical issue in this dog's back end, and I would bet that there is pain there, which is part of why this dog is so reactive. And so they are kicking the dog where it's painful, because he told them to.
Great.
Yeah, he's getting excited. That's what you want? Okay, that's what I do.
I'm
We're gonna take the dog.
so upset.
Caesar will
Oh
control
my goodness, he's avoiding. See that? She is like, please do not let me get near that man.
until he feels it's
Look at her. She is so distressed.
safe for Jennifer to take the leash.
Oh my
I
goodness.
also want you to see when the surrender kicks in.
Oh my goodness. Yank the dog, yank the dog. She's avoiding, she's lip licking, she's whale-eyed, she's tense. She is... This makes me so upset. This poor dog.
That's surrender.
No, it's not. It's learned helplessness.
Beautiful. Right?
No, there's absolutely nothing beautiful about this. This dog is in so much distress.
Here's the leash to you. is a very subtle moment when a dog finally surrenders. When you see Bella stop looking around excitedly, when she finally just settles into a walk and relaxes.
When a dog learns that they cannot escape a situation, that they will keep being punished, and that there is no way to avoid it, and they shut down, that is not success. That is nothing to be celebrated. That is cruel, that is inhumane, that is harmful, and it has done nothing to change the reason for this dog's behavior. All of this has only made this dog worse. I am so upset. I can't keep watching this. I need to quit here. I can't. This poor dog. What that dog was just put through is classified as flooding. Flooding is cruel, it is unnecessary, it is inhumane. It's when there is a forced and overwhelming exposure with no escape. So that would be like if you had a huge fear of snakes, dropping you into a tank full of snakes where you could not get out of and leaving you there until you gave up. That way of approaching behavior modification is not acceptable. Unfortunately, there are no rules and regulations for who can call themselves a dog trainer. And that is why people like Millan are still popular, and these people set dog training back by decades. Provoking a dog, setting them up to fail, and then punishing them for doing so does not teach them what behavior you are hoping for them to do. You will get a dog with decreased responsiveness, a dog with decreased optimism, a dog who acts depressed, a dog who's just given up. None of those things should be considered success or rehabilitation. The things that he's demonstrating are wrong. They're seriously outdated. He has no education in any type of behavior modification, and it shows. There are position statements from all sorts of veterinary behavior experts explaining in even more detail why, and I will link a bunch of them in the video description below. When you address the dog's needs and teach them the behavior that you are looking for and give them the appropriate medical treatment that they need, then they have a chance to learn a new behavior. Do not ever do to any of your animals what Millan is demonstrating here. I beg of you. It may appear successful in the short term. However, it risks safety for your dog, for yourself, for any other animal that you or your dog come into contact with. It is irresponsible and shows a severe lack of judgment to be forming training plans like this. I'm just so upset. As soon as you learn what stress and fear looks like in a species, you can't unsee it. And then you start to see it everywhere. And when you care about animal welfare and when you know better, then you do better. I will leave a link in the video description to help you assess who a research-based ethical trainer is. Please use that. If you have a suggestion for a positive reinforcement trainer that you would like me to react to in the future, please leave their name in the comments down below. I would love to be able to contrast what ethical positive reinforcement behavior modification looks like when it's being done properly compared to this. I'm not exactly sure when I'll next be putting up a video due to everything going on in my personal life, but I hope you'll join me in the next video, and I'll see you then. Take care. Bye. I'm so upset that my dog has come over to comfort me.